That's why I can't go back to that city anymore. Hey, man, you know.
Anyways.
Did we find anything about that? Well, we did that one. Are we going to talk about the Bezos thing? Or? We can mention it. It ain't a big.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's related to that or not. I mean, Amazon's up and down all the time. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, anyways. I guess we get started.
I switched my build again.
Oh, did you?
Dude, you know how many times I've had my skills go back to level 5? I can't stop changing it as my mood changes. But I keep finding cool stuff.
I keep trying not to change my build.
I don't care. The game's fun. I don't really care. I got it back up to 12 in like 2 hours. But I also got to remember, I'm in the level 58 area, so I'm getting the skills back up really fast.
Ah, yeah.
Now if you're in a higher level than you, and they're higher level than you,
what's the level cap?
I don't know. Because I swear I saw somewhere online talking about being over level 200. But I don't know how long you keep getting skill points, you know. Look it up. We're gamers. They'll be all right.
Let's see. Level cap. Last epoch. 100. It says base levels are gained by earning experience up to level 100. Skill levels are gained by earning experience while skill is specialized. Master class levels are gained by, yeah. All right.
Yeah, because you can put points in the other classes that aren't your, one you chose. But you can go up to, well, wait a minute. Is that character level or, wait, but 100. Is that 100 per? So that does mean you can go to 200. Because if that means you can go 100 base class and 100 into your master class. If that allows you to go 100 in your base class and your master class at 25 and other, then yeah, that would be over 200.
There's a skill. But I mean, there's a base level.
Yeah, it says how many points can you get at last epoch. Click that.
Like, once again, it says level 100.
That's true. No, I said, yeah, how many points?
Yeah, so
113. Okay. So you get a total of 113 passive points. That's still a pretty high level.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I don't even know what I would do with the extra points. I'm already like, I don't know. I have to find a place to put them.
All right, let's get started. Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q.
And no Bloodaxe. He's not feeling well.
It's a shame. He's missing Disney Day.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of Disney stuff.
Disney, Marvel, Disney.
What you heard if you tuned in early, we were actually talking about last epoch, which me and Q had started up this week, playing around with. Since we were talking about it, man. Well, what do you feel about the game, man?
All right, a fair review. Okay, non-biased review first. It is worth $35. It's absolutely worth the $35. I actually got Zeno his copy. He feels it needs some work, but I don't regret getting it because the game is, to me, it's a $35 game. It's good for $35. It's worth its money. Even if you're not a Necro player, I believe it's worth Dude, I played worse $35. Now, you said you played better. I played a lot worse. But then again, it's hitting something that Diablo 4 didn't hit for me, which is I'm having fun. I actually enjoy looking through my gear because I find actual good things. I find something I go like, that's awesome. And every evening I play, there's a moment something good happens. I always feel like my time's well spent. Now, that's the non-buy. Now, no, I said it's a $35 game.
Yeah,
it's not a $70 game.
Well, I'll say this as far as mine goes. I think the game is definitely still early access. And I will say I was rougher on the game when I originally talked to Q about the game, but that was because Q made it sound better than it was. And you know how expectations are? Because when he told me, he was like, oh man, this is really cool, this is cool. He just told me about the cool points, he didn't tell me about the stupid points. And
that's why I gave an unbiased review
so I came in with a really high expectation, and I almost turned it off immediately. I was like done with it. And then I came back and I was like, no, I'm being biased. And I'm taking preconceptions in, and gave it a second go, and I will say it definitely needs some polish. It's fun. It's what I expect from a Diablo clone.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It's definitely not anything really special though, but it is fun. It's fun. They did what Diablo 4 they did what Diablo 4 missed. And that was to make the leveling and the going through the story part fun, exciting, and you still and you feel powerful and strong, and and
their gear system now. You got to say their gear system's better.
Yeah, but my point being is they made the early grind fun, and that's probably my biggest complaint about Diablo 4 is the early grind is miserable.
Oh God.
So not bad. Is it worth 35 or 40? I would have put it more at 29.
That's it. They still got a few days too. Technically, even though it's close, they're 3 days early access, but he's not wrong. Because the thing is, it's going to be a different experience for what you're coming for. Because there are problems. Dude, the aiming issue is still a problem for me. Like, I still miss and shoot off in the
I have
direction.
abilities that will get, like, with using mouse and keyboard, sometimes your abilities will just get stuck. And so, like, I'll be Q and then click to move, and for some reason my ability is still partially going, sapping up my resources.
It plays a lot smoother for melee builds too than it does in minion builds than it does for precision. I will say that 100%.
I'll say my whirlwind build is the worst about getting stuck.
I don't know about stuff, but I mean about the aiming issue, the missing enemies altogether.
Yeah, no, I will say aiming-wise, melee is much better.
Because if you're watching this video, you'll notice that they're doing something that you don't normally think about. You'll notice that when they're aiming at an enemy, they turn all the way around. That's mandatory. Yeah. Your character has tank controls when it comes to turning, and he will whiff and attack in the wrong direction. I don't believe
that's 100% of the issue, because my wizard,
I don't know what caused it.
My wizard had been 100% turned around and just shot through his back. So
mine does not. I don't know how you're doing it. Well, you know what? You're using a keyboard. Maybe
and it not be the direction that I'm pointing. Well, and
that's the thing. If you're on a controller like me, well, that's the thing. Like I'm now playing hybrid. I'm literally holding a controller in my left hand and the mouse in my right hand, and putting the precision ability on the friggin' mouse button, and then I'll play it, and when I need to be precise, I'll grab the mouse and aim where I need to go. But it's irritating. But but is it worth $35 to me? Even if you're, like I said, you're not. I think it is, just because it manages to be fun. And when I compare it to other Diablo likes, not considering free ones like Path of Exile, I mean, I won't say it's as good as like maybe Grim Dawn was, but it's a newer game. It definitely feels more current than Grim Dawn did when I played it. Grim Dawn's a little aged now, but if Grim Dawn 2 came out, I would definitely expect it to probably bury this game. But it's fun. Now, if you are a Necro player, it is a very good Necromancer game. I literally have rebuilt my build dozens of times just for fun. None of it has not been fun. Every skill on the Necromancer tree is amazing. There is so many variants of minion builds that I keep changing my mind. At one point, I was running a fire minion build, but then I decided I wanted to blow up everything and summon blood specters. But now I'm like, well, I like summoning raids.
Well, yeah, and I will say, though, when it comes to their skill sets are probably the best thing about the game is the skills and the ability to.
Dude, I'll go one step better. I haven't played a game that I like the skills this much.
Yeah.
I wish they played better, but the skills are better than even Path of Exile.
But yeah, as far as the gameplay and generation of action RPG, this falls in between probably Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 era.
It feels like something that would have came out alongside Diablo 3 instead of Diablo, like the current. But thing is, till Path of Exile 2 comes out, this is what you've got in Diablo 4. Or you got to play something older. And it does feel more current, despite what he says. It's not between Diablo 2 and 3 to me. It's about Diablo 3. I played Diablo 3. He's got rose-colored glasses. I played it more recently than you did. You haven't played Diablo 3 in a long time.
Yeah,
I played Diablo 3 a year ago.
I played the last season right before Diablo 4 came out.
Diablo fanboys.
But once again, I've played a lot more of these games than you. I think
True. I haven't played Torchlight.
putting this between the Diablo 2 and 3 era, now closer to the 3 era than the 2 era. But there's no innovation. I mean, one of the cool things that Diablo 4 did was the dodge. There's no dodge. There's no roll.
I do miss that. I do miss that. Yeah.
And I mean, they didn't bring anything new to the table. So.
No, I'll say that this game is for fans of minions. That's what they do best, in that they have really cool trees. They have it on every class, it seems. Like, even your warrior apparently has a minion build.
Yeah, I have weapons and armor that can be summoned.
So I mean, but that's why I said, if you're a Necro fan, it's really good.
I can't stand the way you say Necro, man.
Necro, then. Anyway, you know what? Necro or Minion fan, whatever it is, it's a fun game for that. And again, in this day and age, because you're also comparing it to games you played a while back when $35 was normal. You got to remember that. Like Torchlight and those other games are older, where $35 was a normal price. Yeah. Let's be real. $35
By the way,
is rare.
For you people out there, I can't stand the way he says it because it's not the way I say it. I'm not going to say which is the correct way because it's a fantasy term, and I don't know if anybody's ever actually...
I believe it is supposed... Well, when you shorten it, I don't know for sure, but it is Necromancer.
Yeah.
But I grew up being the only black guy that played D&D. Nobody knew how to correct me. So I called it Necromancer, and everybody else said, that sounds about right. And it wasn't until I met these suckers later, they started saying, you're saying it wrong. And I'm like... Well, okay. Then.
I don't think I ever told you said it wrong.
No, the other punks. And you know what? They don't know how to build one or play one. Anyway, though, whatever it is. Anyway, but my point is that that's what I think is their only part of your opinion is unfair. I think you're also comparing it back to when $35 games was normal. Dude, $35 games now are not even complete games. Half the time.
Here's my thing.
Access,
I played $29 for PAL. I paid $25, I think, for PAL World. I paid $30 for Enshrouded. I've gotten just as much fun out of those two games, if not more, than this game, and those are $30 games.
Oh.
That's what I'm comparing. I'm comparing it to the current $30 game market
to other Diablo
and how much fun I've gotten out of those $30 games.
That's not even fair, because I won't lie, dude. I'm still playing Power World, and y'all suckers ain't even there. I'm playing by myself. I'm running around alone.
And just general, more indie titles. $30 is generally where you're at.
No doubt. I'll give you that. But like I said, just to shorten it out, he is 100% correct. Even though I'm disagreeing with him, that doesn't mean I'm right. I also am biased. That's why my unbiased review is that it's an okay game, and if you like Diablo likes, and you like to play a bunch of them, then yeah, it is worth $35. You're looking for something you haven't played yet.
Now, I will say,
if you've already beaten Torchlight or Grim Dawn and went through these games, then it's worth your $35 to hold you off for Path of Exile 2. Now, you got something better to play. Let me finish. If you got something better to play, don't spend the money. Yeah. If you're still playing something else. But if you're bored, which I was, because Path of Exile 2 is way off, and Dragon's Dogma don't come out till next month, and Elden Ring DLC, I needed something to play, and you suckers left me alone in Power World. I'm up here, got a big old base. I got weapons sitting in a locker for y'all. Level high tier weapons. Nobody's there. So yeah, I bought it and I'm having fun because I was lonely. You know what I'm saying? So
I will say this here makes that $35 feel a lot cheaper, and that's Diablo 4 introduces yet another mount at $65.
Also nearly the price of 2 last epochs.
Oh, well, basically it's a content bundle, but apparently the only real thing you get out of it is a mount. And, and we've also seen this. I think they had a portal that they were selling for like $30, $40.
Portal skins that were just recolors. They didn't even put any effort in, man.
The monetization of Diablo is just... Monetization? Monetization? How do you say it?
No, that's a stop. You said it wrong.
No, say it.
Monetization.
Monetization.
You said monetization.
I did, didn't I? I forgot the T in there. So, anyway, how they monetize.
I don't know the first time is the fact that you kept going.
Yeah,
no.
I kept saying it, and I kept noticing there was something wrong.
You didn't even say it the same way every time.
I wasn't. Well, that's because I was trying to figure out what was wrong with it.
He's like, there's a Z in here somewhere.
And yeah,
Zonatization. That's fun.
All right.
Well, I don't know. Look, I got an excuse. There is Tennessee honey in my coffee.
Oh,
I don't know what your excuse is.
All right. Anyway, the microtransaction shop of Diablo 4 is getting more news than any season or any game.
You can't buy an armor set for the price of Last Epoch. But again, in that comparison, but Enshrouded. This is a little quick aside. You think Enshrouded's worth the money?
I've had fun with it. I've enjoyed it. It's a little more work at the base than I think you normally like.
Yeah, I'm normally not big in that.
The
magic system is what kept me from buying it. I'd have bought it by now, but it doesn't have a proper. Yeah, dude, we all uninstalled.
Oh yeah, I haven't had Diablo 4 installed in a while.
Yeah, I installed it for Season 3, never even started, and uninstalled it again without even starting Season 3.
But no, I mean, now, currently I got all the base stuff taken care of on the server that me and Mike are on, so you might not have to worry about so much of that.
Yeah, but it's the magic system that throws me off, dumbass.
But also, yeah, the magic system's weird. I think in game it could be fun. Like I'm actually got a full set of magic armor that I've collected that I've been thinking about trying out and playing around with. But honestly, I like their melee system enough where it's just like.
Melee combat can sometimes do it for you. I like my melee combat pretty crunchy though. That's why I usually play mages. If I'm gonna do melee, I remember I play like Devil May Cry. I play Lies P and stuff. I'm kind of like if I'm gonna do melee, I usually want a crunchy.
Yeah, it's not crunchy
melee system, and I've watched enough to know it isn't. So I was like, okay, well I'll do magic. Then they were like, well you got to craft the resources for your, and I'm like, oh, so it's a gun. Your magic's really a gun. That's what that is to me. When you do that, that tells me that I'm just loading magic shells into my gun rifle and going pew.
The wand is a gun, basically.
The staff is a bazooka.
And the staff is yeah.
It's not my style. Plus, also, we both have a resource problem where we don't like burning resources. We're paranoid about running out.
The cool thing about the staff is yes, you have the resource problem, but you have that with a bow and arrow as well.
So I don't use it. But you never see
because basically the staff works like your bow. You have different types of ammunition in your inventory, and when you go to shoot it, you can select which ammo you're shooting, whether it be healing, lightning, fireball.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure if I had the bot Last Epoch, I'd have jumped in and had fun, but I could be a necromancer. So.
Yeah, and you can't be a necromancer in Shrouded. So.
I could even summon undead in Valheim, man. In my head, I was leveling up the staff, so. But back on point, though. Diablo is pissing people off with just the amount of money. Because you got to think about it. If you're getting everything that comes with Diablo and you bought the premium edition, you've bought, every game we mentioned. I mean, every game. You bought Grim Dawn and Last Epoch and Enshrouded. You've spent $300 probably trying to keep up with all of this. And here's the problem. I will say this. Now, you may disagree, but I think Last Epoch more fun than Diablo 4. I know for Necromancer players, I'm 100% sure for Necromancer players.
I'll definitely agree that the game is more fun than Diablo 4. I mean, that's
so's Enshrouded in the Power World.
Yeah.
So, but of the ones in that category, I'd rather play that than that. I'd rather play a warrior. I'd rather play a class I don't like in Last Epoch because I think I'll find something I like.
Now, something that I would put in the same boat as Diablo 4 as a big miss is
I actually played that.
Immortals of Avium. Yeah, no. The reason I actually brought this article up when I saw it was because of the reason. It's like a former dev says a AAA single-player shooter in today's market was truly an awful idea. No, it's not an awful idea to have a AAA single-player shooter. It's an awful idea to do a shitty job. Like, I'm so sick and tired of seeing these devs and these companies that want to blame everything other than the game not being good.
Help me out. What is a AAA game?
It's just a budget.
No. I want to hear what is it? So it's just how much you spent on it, right?
I mean, it usually has a lengthy size, has current graphics.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, we'll say that single-player shooters, not AAA, single-player shooters are not the greatest idea. Double A. I mean, he's right. I mean,
Nick MC says AAA is dead. All hell Double A.
No. Nick, I'm going to back you up. No, I got you, Nick. Hold on. Name your last few favorite games you played. Name 5 games you played. The last 5 games you played you liked. Name them. No, do it. And watch how none of them are AAA.
Well, no, but none of them are AA either because that doesn't exist.
But my point is, okay.
But yeah, I get you.
Remnant 2. Power World, Enshrouded, like you go down your list, I have to go all the way back to Elden Ring before I get to a full price game. And Elden Ring was more than a year ago. I mean,
the problem with Immortals of Avion was
not that it was
AAA. Was that it was they came up with this pretty good idea, and it was to make a high action, fast spell
type shooter,
fantasy
shooter.
Yeah, fantasy. But the thing is it really didn't feel like that. It literally felt like they skinned a gun with a wand.
But tell me if I'm wrong.
Or with a glove.
But if it was multiplayer, you probably would have had more fun playing it with me. I'm just saying though that I'm trying to be fair. He's saying it's because it was AAA, the guy, and I agree with you. No.
Well, no, that's
not what was wrong with it.
They're saying it's because it's single player. They're not saying that AAA is a problem. They're saying that they don't want to put AAA budget behind a single-player shooter in today's market.
I can't remember the last time that's worked, I will admit. Like, for a long time. Name a game that's a shooter in single-player without going back 5 years. 5 years.
Oh.
I can't.
I mean, Doom Eternal's not 5 years old.
Is Doom Eternal does that multiplayer?
No.
Okay. How old is Doom Eternal?
I mean, the campaign doesn't.
How old is Doom Eternal? I mean, that'd be 5, but I'll punch you. I mean, technically you're right. It's 4 years, but you get my point. Now they're exaggerating though about what's wrong with the game because he is right. This game sucked because the idea was stupid.
My point is EA's been on the whole single player thing for a while, and that's my biggest concern here is the whole single player thing. Because that's the whole people. Yes, exactly. I was excited about a single player shooter
because then I can't bug them to play with them.
Yeah, exactly. But it sucked. The game sucked.
But I mean, he's not wrong in that the problem wasn't it was single player by itself. It was that they sold the game as you're a spellcaster and no, you're a shooter. And if they had at least said that, people wouldn't have went in expecting it. Now, I saw it as a shooter.
Yes,
it
Michael.
wasn't an impressive shooter.
Exactly. That is what he's saying. Michael in the chat room says, what I'm hearing is you can cover up a bad game by making it multiplayer, so interactions with your friends makes up for deficiencies in the game.
Army of Two. Did you never play Army of Two? I played the crap out of Army of Two and Army of Two too, and everybody I know goes, Army of Two. That game was a terrible shooter. It wasn't well made at all, but it was fun to play with your friends.
That's true. I will say I played Army of Two with my brother, and we enjoyed the hell out of that time.
You were loving Red Dead Redemption 2.
I wasn't loving it.
You went playing with your brother, man. You had a good time.
Playing it. I was suffering through it with my brother.
You suffered a lot through it. He was having fun. No, he don't like that.
Look, I don't get to play games with my brother very often. You
You had fun.
I enjoyed hanging out with my brother. I did not enjoy the game.
Yeah, but that's what multiplayers can pull
Well,
off.
no, but I can separate that one for sure, the game from...
Hey, look, they're just trying to make their money. They found a way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Business, capitalism. They're like, hey, you can play this with your brother. I think being multiplayer wouldn't have saved it, but I think it would have helped. But I think what would have helped is that, because here's the thing, even when I watched him play it, since I came over, I wanted to see if I wanted to buy it, because I like single-player games too. Because, you know, sometimes these suckers drag me down. So, you know, I get to be full power, play my real level. Yeah, see, I could be an a-hole too. But but when I saw the game, it was an unimpressive shooter. I was like, I just go load Doom up on Game Pass. Like, I think it's on Game Pass. I'll go play Doom. I looked at it and said, like, I'd rather play Doom. This doesn't look. Like, if you're going to be a single-player shooter, they're not wrong that you better be good, because you have nothing to sell your game but your game. You got no fallback. You got nothing. It was a new IP, so they can't get off of the, I remember playing Doom as a kid, or I love playing Master Chief.
I will say this was one of the things that got me about the game. Honestly, this comment here gives me where the developer may get the idea, because it says it's not a sequel or a remake. It doesn't take 400 hours to beat, has 0 microtransactions, no pointless open world grinding. Although not everyone loved it, it reviewed pretty well, currently sitting at a 74 on OpenCritic and a mostly positive on Steam. No one bought it. I will say, when I played the game, I was looking for the bad reviews, because I was like, why is this not getting bad reviews? Because this is horrible.
It wasn't horrible.
It was mediocre. Horrible. No,
I found it to be mediocre.
I actually played the game. I found it horrible. Now Flynn in the chat room says he didn't find it horrible. But
I don't know. To me, it seemed mediocre. It didn't seem like it was worth AAA money.
Yeah, I thought it was glitchy. The graphics weren't that great. There was something off all the time to me.
I don't know if I would call those shooters. Our boy Flynn pointed out Mass Effect and Cyberpunk.
Well, he said single-player games that are good, but not shooters.
Not shooters, yeah. Well, like I said, to be a shooter, you need to be fun. You need to be Doom or Hellsinger, I think was pretty cool. You need to be, that new Helldivers game's looking interesting, but it's multiplayer, so that doesn't count. But, no, man, I mean, the thing is that it isn't worth the money. And it didn't have anything to sell on. They said no pointless open world grinding, but they also didn't have...
I see what you're saying. Mass Effect, Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk and Mass Effect are semi-shooters, but they're also RPGs.
They're RPGs. Like, for example, in both games, you don't have to shoot. You can be a biotic. You can be a melee or a hacker. So you can't call a game a shooter if shooting is only like one option and not even necessarily the most broken. Because I'll tell you right now, biotics in Mass Effect. And I was melee, and heck, I was running around doing the Vanguard and elbowing people in the face and charging at them. So, no, I wouldn't call those pure shooters. This was like a Doom shooter with none of the things that made Doom good. And they might have been good if they did have some dang leveling and let you level up to bigger spells. That might have helped.
Well, you sort of did. I mean, it was equipment-wise. You upgraded your equipment and stuff, and you could get sort of
every game. You get bigger, better guns. That ain't new.
And that's what it felt like. I mean, literally, it felt like you put a fantasy skin on a bad shooter, not even a good shooter. You know?
Yeah. So don't blame AAA shooters, because Doom has something to say about that. And Hellsinger, heck, they even redid some of the old ones. Went back to Doom. Heck, most of the remakes of Resident Evil, while there's more to it, you're mostly gun combat. They're more gun combat than Mass Effect and Cyber, but they're almost purely gun combat. So, no. Don't say that.
And that's my thing. Like, I actually enjoy the single-player versions of, like, Ghost Recon and stuff like that. I play a lot of those in single-player and enjoy them.
When I played Halo, I loved playing with Kitsune, but I also enjoyed putting it on the highest difficulty and grinding through that game on the highest freaking difficulty. Because when you're with other people, there are strategies that don't work. Like, I like sneaking around, running from a battle, and trying to wear people down, all that. So, I mean,
honestly,
it doesn't have to be multiplayer. I played Halo Infinite. Yeah. I enjoyed it. Guess what? It didn't have multiplayer in the game.
If Remnant 2 was single player, I still would have played it.
I mean, it pretty much is for me. Last time
Oh, I knew I shouldn't have brought up Remnant 2. But
I
yeah.
haven't seen your ass in damn near a year.
So there you go. See, it's basically single player, and you enjoy it.
And I have beaten it a bunch of times by myself. I run through it solo a lot. Though some of that too is that randos online are so bad.
But once again, not a AAA game.
Yeah. So but that's what he's saying. I think they're trying to say they spent too much on it. Because here's my thing.
I think they just didn't do a good job, though. That's my opinion.
I'm saying you spent $125 million on that. What? I didn't see it.
Well, they spent $85 million making the game, and then another $40 million on for marketing. Which obviously the marketing was bad because we barely caught wind of the game.
Dude, I only know it because somebody put out a YouTube video saying it sucked. So when you got it, I said, "Oh, I watched somebody play that." It's not, and I even told you it's not a Magic game because that's what the video was. I think it was cartoons. It was like this is a gun game. So when he got it, I said, "Dude, it's not a Magic game." And then he played it and said, "This is not a Magic game." I'm like, "Yeah," because I love it because when he had to reload his spells and it went, he was just like, "Why am I reloading spells?" And I'm like, "Because it's a gun." Yes, you reload your spells. And I mean, it's literally like, yeah, there we go. Oh no, I ran out of ammo in my magic hand. They at least could have did something fun and all your fingers fell off until you got it back. That'd at least making the music. No, I can't cast spells. My fingers are gone. Then you find some fingers on the ground and stick them on. You're like, reloaded. Make it funny. Because also the game also missed that. No humor. It wasn't thrilling, funny, scary. Because horror. Now, there you go. A bunch of horror single-player shooters do well. There's a bunch. Now, I don't play them, but there are a lot of horror shooters. And now, they're not all AAA, but they're out there. Hey, Alan Wake's pretty much a horror shooter.
Well, you go into Dead Space and stuff like that.
There you go, yeah. So it's like, no, these games can work. But you didn't have that. You weren't scary. You weren't epic. You tried to be epic. I mean, hey, the dragons look cool.
I mean, I think it actually would have worked better as an open world and with some grindy elements to it.
I think it would have been if they just gave you a damn gun like Remnant 2 and just stop pretending.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, like the no pointless open world grinding. I like open world grinding.
I mean, if it's good, yeah.
If it's good, yeah, there's no pointless open world. There's no open world grinding. There's no open world.
It's just a shooter. But you're not Doom Guy. And if you need to be Master Chief, Doom Guy, or the dude from Dead Space, give me something to work with. That's all I'm saying. I couldn't tell you who the main character was. Neither could he. And he played it. I was sitting there going like, so what's going on? Who's that? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, who are you? And he's like, I'm some orphan, I think. I don't know. What's your goal? Shoot. I don't know. What side are you on? I'm not kidding. I'm sitting there going, what's the story? And he's like, I had a friend, and I think she's dead, or she joined the other side. I don't know.
Yeah, she fell off a cliff. You know what happens when somebody falls off a cliff.
They join the dark side,
yeah,
I guess.
They come back on the other side.
Yeah. He didn't get that far, though.
I didn't get that far.
And I'm just sitting here watching.
But I guarantee you, if I go and look up the story of that game.
No, I know. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I always know the story to every game. You know that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she does.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter. No one cares.
I called it the moment she fell off,
No one hesitated when they saw her. Everybody was like, hey, it's you.
I was waiting for you.
Yeah, pow, 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 pow. Let's see who's got the bigger gun. I got a lot of backup magic in my pocket. I got the 12-gauge spells. That was a dumb game. Let's go on. We got distracted with how stupid that game was. And that's not even, we haven't even got into the Disney news yet.
All right. So,
Disney news.
I mean, pretty much the rest of this is Disney news.
Yeah. Mostly.
All right.
A little Amazon.
Yeah.
Not what you think of Amazon.
Disney slapped with civil rights complaint over 50% DEI goal for underrepresented actors and crew that sideline white Christian men using files leaked by Elon Musk. This is just, I'll be honest, I've got like, there's also the Bob Iger
the leaked tape of him.
Basically just Disney admitting that, yes, they are woke and they are doing it on purpose.
No, and they're doing illegal.
And
activity.
and they're doing illegal practices.
Now, to understand this a little more,
I don't have the link up. I don't know why, but there's also the Gina. Well, that's because I think we talked about it last week. There's also the Gina Carano
well,
suing
she's got
Disney.
a good chance now that they're being accused of discrimination.
Yeah, Disney is quickly getting flushed with.
Well, to go over this a little more about the DI, basically they found out that literal, not word of mouth, not rumored, not we're only saying this. No, like official hiring policies printed, like sent to everybody. Do not hire white Christian men, which is racial, religion, and gender discrimination, all in one. And they're also wrapping Jewish people into that category, which is not even accurate. So it's also kind of racist in that it's like, technically Jews are not Christian. They don't really consider themselves always white. They don't always do.
I'm not getting into the whole...
well, I mean, it is, though. They said that that's included, that also was included in their target group. So...
The point is they're taking a demographic and they're saying...
3 demographics.
Well, is it 3 demographics though?
Race, religion, and gender.
But it's not all white men they're not hiring, and it's not all Christians they're not hiring, and it's not all.
I'm pretty sure they don't want to hire Christian women.
And it's but I mean that's why it's one of those things. It's not necessarily. It's one demographic that is a combination.
True. But it still is technically legally discrimination on 3 different bases. It can be hit for race, gender, and religion. You cannot not hire somebody because of their religion. You cannot not hire someone because of their race. You cannot not hire someone because of their gender. Well, no, they didn't mean to be upfront about it. All this has been leaked. It's like Michael's like, hey, they're being upfront about it. No, they've been caught. Then after this, the tape came out of Bob Iger literally talking to his people and like a tape. This is not rumor. This is him himself going, no, it was all me. Like, yeah, I want to be political. I disagree with everything that this political group did on this day and here. And I think we need more of this. And I want this to be what we're about. I want my company to be, I want Disney to be this. Yeah. And remember, he's been lying to his investors at the investors call. He fired Bob Chapek. So F this little mug. We got time? Can I do it?
Yeah, man.
Man, fuck you, Bob Iger. No, Elon's right, because now I'm like, dude, they fired that man on a weekend while he was at a concert enjoying himself, saying he did this. I hate lying bastards who humiliate somebody and you knew you could have at least showed that man some respect. You could have at least said, hey, man, step down. We're going to talk to you, dude. Look, I'm coming back. Step down. And then we'll let you step out and you'll say that you decide you want to go back to running the park. No, they're like, we're going to throw him under the bus. We're going to humiliate him in front of the whole world. And then we find a tape of him going, no, it was all me. All of that. Me, yeah. Yeah, no, I want to go deep. I'm going all in. So that means that Bob Iger is a bitch, a liar, a backstabbing son of a bitch, a punk. You know what I'm saying? Because he's supposed to be friends with Chapek. So he's a backstabber, he's a liar, and honestly, given how much he's supporting the directions and some of the things that have been said and what they're aiming at children, I kind of think he might be a pervert too. I can't prove that one, that's an opinion. But with him admitting he's down for it and them going like, we're coming for your kids, I wouldn't be down for that. I would have at least said, no, I support, but maybe not that part. No, he's like, all in, baby. If you all or nothing, Bob, I got to put you in the group. That's all I'm saying. You can't be all or nothing and then sit there and go, well, I'm not a weirdo. Dude, there's another, remember the tape they got about the woman that was talking about that, and they said we're aiming at the kids. And it's like, you at least could have said, let's not say it like that. Even you stopped me sometimes and go like, don't say it like that. Like, there's some way you don't say stuff. So
the chat room says we need a flashy intro effect for Q's rants. I'm gonna go with. But
no, Bob's a villain now. He's a super villain to me, and him saying that we should be political. No, you shouldn't. Or if you are, you know what? Let me tell you something. I'm gonna give what's the stupid CW? All right, this is rare. I'm gonna defend CW. You know why?
Why?
Because CW has done two things that I respect as a man and as a person that holds his ethics. They've been upfront about what they're about, and they stuck to their guns even when they've just been losing. They went right into the ground with it. But you want to know what, though? I at least respect them because it makes me think that at least they believe what they're saying. But the fact that he lies constantly, the fact that he keeps going to the investors meeting and saying, we're going to pivot direction, but then he doesn't, means Bob is not the friend of these people. He does not care about them. He clearly doesn't, because if he was, he would come out and say, this is what Disney's about now. But he doesn't. So he's a coward. He's not honest. He is not a leftist. He is not a liberal. He's not even woke. At least I can respect woke people who believe it, because I'll never be mad at somebody for going with what they believe. Okay? If you believe it, okay, we can talk. At least you think you're doing the right thing. Bob doesn't. So he's not your friend. He's not your enemy. He's nothing. He's scum. Because we talk and we tease the woke. I got no problem with the woke because they're trying to make the world a better place. I get where they're coming from. I'm black. I understand the concept. They're doing a bad job of it, but they're trying. I'll never hate somebody for trying. That's all I'm saying. I'll never hate somebody for trying.
Silence!
I don't even know what he's playing. I can't hear it. So there you go. So this guy doesn't stand for anything or anybody. So do not mistake me. I may not agree with the methods, but I understand the mindset of we need to make things better. I will always agree with that. This is the kind of guy that undermines you, me, and everybody else. Do not make this man president, because we all know he wants to be. I'd rather have a monkey in a suit.
Well, if you don't think that, with everything going on with Disney, that brings us to a whole nother thing.
So I can't trust this. I don't know how to feel.
If you didn't see it, they're bringing back X-Men 97. Yeah, I can't trust them on this, man. I will say I want it to be good, but I have no expectations of quality.
By the way, shocker, he was way more critical of this trailer than me. You were like, I didn't have nearly as many problems with it as you did. He was like, oh man, I'm just like,
yeah, no.
Well, he had reasons. I saw after you showed me, but I missed a lot of the stuff he caught.
Well, and I watched it a couple of times to get
Shredder?
there.
That looks like Shredder.
No, that's Magneto with his back
Shredder.
turn.
That's the Shredder.
All
right, we got a Turtles X-Men crossover.
Got the full.
That's a Shredder
gray
helmet.
hair.
Look at the
that's
shoulders.
the gray hair, man.
I just want to mess with him. That's the Shredder. All right, I'll watch this if they bring the Turtles in. Wolverine versus Shredder? Come on, man. That's a good fight. Shink. Ha! Well, I mean, Adam, he better get some adamantium. Like, Shredder better find some adamantium or it's going to be a short fight. But it'd be an interesting fight. I mean, heck, Batman versus Shredder was good. Did you not see that? That was a good one. Teenage Turtles versus Batman. The Shredder and Batman had it out. It was a good fight.
Yeah.
I told you I'll watch everything.
All right.
This.
But yeah, so...
you going to tell him what you didn't like about it?
No.
I see, pussing out.
The problem is because of it being a trailer and the shots being distant, I don't know yet. And I mean, I will watch the first episode. I'm going to give it a chance just because this is something from my childhood I want to see. I just don't have high hopes.
Yeah. Unless it, like, before I watch it, everybody jumps out and goes, God, no, I'm going to watch it. But I will say that I literally watched it and I didn't believe anything I saw. This might as well have been a Kevin Smith trailer. For about as much as I trusted. I was like, I don't even believe. Like, your theory, you can tell me your theory about Scott and Jean, which is like, he theorizes Scott and Jean because Jean's pregnant.
Well, no, and this was not my theory. This was something else. Somebody had said that they were talking about there were some other talks with the creator, and they gave off a bunch of character overviews, and they sort of skipped Jean and Cyclops, and it made it out to be that Jean and Cyclops aren't going to be in the series, that they'll probably be off with her being pregnant. and then
Storm
will take over.
Which I don't mind because I enjoyed what Storm.
No,
did to
Storm
X-Men.
was a good, in the comics when
She's more interesting than Scott. I'll even say it. Scott was always boring to me as a character. So, but it will be an interesting though that they say coming my X-Men that they do the bait and switch that he doesn't that they're out by episode 2 or 3. And honestly, that is really very likely. I mean, I'll be shocked if Disney lets a white guy lead the X-Men.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, here are some things they could do that I think would be cool. Now, if they did make Storm the leader, this also brings up back when Storm and Wolverine were an item. They could go that route again. That adds generational relationship into it, which it was an interesting relationship in the comics. I enjoyed it.
I don't know, that one scene made me think it might be Wolverine and Gambit.
Oh. He's lighting his fire.
He's riding it back. He jumped on the back.
Oh.
No, we're just joking. Yeah. But I can't get excited, even though I like the look of it, because it's Disney. And, well, Bob Iger openly admitted what he was about. So it's not even a matter of maybe. It would be, in order for this to be good, they would have to defy Bob Iger. We now know that. We now know that if we get something that isn't trash, it is because they looked at Bob Iger and said, F you, you can fire me, I'm not doing it. We know this. This is just fact now.
Flynn says, wow, X-Men 97, my whole family would watch that when it came on. Yeah, no, look.
I sat down with family, man.
My very Christian Pentecostal family, I think, if I recall right, my father would actually watch some of it as we sat down.
Did you see what Jarek said? Okay, we got it. Our chat's wild, y'all. Jerry bust out and said that Gambit bought the $65 Wolverine mount. No, he did it because if Blizzard made it, it wouldn't be that effective. It would never be anything that useful as a Wolverine mount. I mean, $65. If I could ride Wolverine into combat in Diablo 4, I might
making
spend.
My ears buzz, man. You're getting so loud.
I might spend the $65. The Wolverine would be a more useful mount than anything they gave you in Diablo 4.
Yeah.
But no, so we're just covered at the cover because I should be excited. I don't, but I mean, look what we just had. I can't trust Disney. Plus, they made Rogue look very weird. You know, if you won't say it, I will. You always make me be the bad guy.
Well, no, I commented on Rogue was a very shapely woman in the original series, and the images you see of Rogue here, they took a lot of her shape away from her.
I mean, she's in the back, but I will say that the shots he caught, she does look odd. Now, Storm looks good, but then maybe Storm's allowed to look good because she's black. I don't know. Storm looks great in almost every shot I see, but Rogue looks off many times you see her. And I don't know if that's intentional or not. It could be there, but then a
lot of people pointed out the uniboob that they do on a lot of the animation shots they did.
I mean, they're redoing a cartoon that was usually for kids. I'm not tripping.
Also, a lot of people talking about her shape being.
Yeah, but no one's got a booty in that shot, man. Look how flat like Cyclops' butt was. Scott was flat.
You don't got a good shot of Scott's.
I'm trying to be nice because we know it's going to be bad, and we're trying to pretend that we don't know that. I will say they didn't have a problem with the dude's abs. All the guys are buff, but I don't know. That's not fair. We haven't seen enough. We haven't seen enough of the other characters to really say. But I will say that every time you see Rogue, she does look.
She's got a bit of a curve there.
I don't know. But I mean, Storm definitely looks better. Storm clearly looks a lot better than she does. Storm is drawn very feminine. But that's to me is a minor.
Well,
nitpick.
and that's Nick in the chat room says they're frightened of attractive women these days, and that's sort of what we're going at, or what I was going at, is we see this a lot. We've seen it recently in video games. We're seeing it in cartoons. We're seeing it in casting. That they so want to change, I guess, the sight of they're all worried about the male gaze.
Yeah,
and
but I'm
this
gonna be
and
fair
that,
though. This artwork has the more simplified, less detailed art style of back then. Look at it, dude. There's no detailing on Scott's face. There's just a little shadowy. I don't mind. I'm actually going to surprise you. I don't care how they really do it. If the show's good is more important to me because the art style they're doing is the less detailed art styling. Now, they had done a modern up-to-date show where everybody was more realistic and better drawn, and it was very clear that they put a lot of effort into it. I might say something. But looking at it, none of the characters to me look that detailed, which is not about a problem. It's based on a 97 cartoon. So I'm just like, I mean, what's they're going to do with the story is a lot more important to me. Now,
There we go. Here's somebody that's sort of broke down some. Look, not a huge change in
change, really,
in definition on the men. You still got individual pecs. I will say Wolverine's does look a little less muscular.
To me, the person who looked a lot more blatant was Jubilee. Looks like a boy in every shot I saw, like a boy. They drew her to look a lot like a boy.
They said they're more Asian now, and she has greater boot detail. Which, yeah.
Like they really, I don't know if they're trying to make her look younger, but she kind of looks like a young boy. But again, I don't care. I didn't watch 97. I didn't really notice.
Yeah.
Now, Storm still looks really good to me. I think they kept a lot of Storm's shape. Jean looks odd in some of her pregnant shots, like she's got freaking triplets. But, I don't know. Different. I don't know enough about that to know how much it changed. I've been around pregnant women. Usually it's a little more subtle than that, but
yeah.
then again,
This is a bit older. That actually wasn't the new stuff. Let's see if we can get something with the... there we go. That's a... Yeah, because I did the Mohawk thing with Storm.
I like the Mohawk. I don't mind the Mohawk. They're definitely not accentuating the feminine shape as much, but it ain't a big deal, dude. It's an older cartoon. I don't care. I wasn't expecting it. I think Storm looks good there. Did they do like anime and shape out every curve of her body? No. Does she look good? She looks good. Does Jubilee kind of still look like a boy to me? Kind of, But it's clear that the men are drawn way more detailed than the women. It's really obvious. But here's a detail I do like. They were smart enough to realize that Rogue could not play without having most of her skin covered. Look at that. They're playing basketball, but Rogue is wearing her outfit. The reason why is because she cannot get into skin-to-skin contact. Nice. I care more about that detail than I do about how attractive she looks. Don't get me wrong, Rogue was like every boy's crush probably back then, but I think there's better art drawn of her. Just don't screw up the story. I more care that they didn't do something stupid, like have Rogue out there in shorts. That would annoy me more if Rogue was out there in shorts.
Yeah, that would have definitely.
People. Yeah, so don't worry about that. What they do with the story is more important to me, dude. I'm not that particular. Because it looks like a 97 cartoon. If it didn't look like a 97 cartoon, but it looks like a 97 cartoon. So, it's fine. We can just jump, man. We can jump, like I said. But we're worried. We are worried. Yeah. Now, non-Disney Marvel screw-ups are the finale.
Rolling Stone says, Madam Web isn't as bad as you heard. It's so much worse. If you have... Look, I didn't go see this, and I'll be honest... a
lot of people that went to see it didn't finish it.
From everything I've heard, this has been pretty massively horrified when people talk about Madam Web. Even the actors have come out recently and complained about the script, the set, the
wig.
Yeah.
You know how bad you are about a movie when you're complaining about the wig? That wig was hot. I almost passed out. I'm like, okay.
I think, was it Dakota Johnson that fired her?
Dakota Johnson fired a representatives after this because, and she basically said this was not what she thought she was hired to do. She was she thought she was doing a Spider-Man movie and it was going to be, a movie. But I think she was saying she found herself in front of a green screen most of the time.
Blue screen.
They were changing the script. She said that was it. She said the script that she received is not the one that they made. Yeah. And that she's just sitting in front of it. It felt like she was a soccer game because she's in front of a green screen just saying, duck, jump. And like she doesn't even know what's going on. Which just shows that's bad direction because normally if you've watched them make movies, even when they do green screen, a lot of these movies will attempt to put in, I've seen it, things to kind of let you focus your eye on. Mm-hmm. They'll have things playing out behind the camera so that you can better act. I've actually seen that with some of the good Marvel movies where they'll have a dude dressed up and they'll be like, yo, that's the guy, he's jumping, so you can look at him, and they'll move things around. Apparently none of that. It was like us. We're in front of a green screen if you can't guess. No, there's not a magic wall behind us. We're in front of a green screen. Apparently that's what she was doing. This is basically in front of a green screen for the entire finale. And that's pretty bad.
Yeah, at a 17% or 13%.
What you give them for?
Critic score and a 55% audience score. It is pretty rotten. Yeah, I mean, these reviews have...
Even the critics didn't bother supporting this female-led, all-female, starred movie, which is when you know it's bad. Because, I mean, this was supposed to be the big female action movie, and it got destroyed. Honestly, I didn't expect it to get destroyed, but it's by the critics. Even that audience score seems high, but then you remember Morbius for a while was a bit higher than anybody expected.
All audience score is 43% verified. Audience score is 55%. There's also not a lot of reviews. There's like 500 plus verified. Still only 2,500 plus.
Oh, no, nobody's watching it. Like, empty theaters, man. Empty theaters. One of the guys I like to watch said that people walked out. He ended up being the only guy in the theater at the end of the movie because people were literally leaving. And I said, dang, people didn't walk out of the Marvels. People didn't walk out of like, let me see what else. Marvel's done a lot of. Marvel's has been. I mean, Disney movies have been really bad, but most people sat through it. People didn't walk out of Morbius, but people were apparently walking out of this not because they were offended. It was just that boring. And I was like, wow, how boring is a movie that you won't play on your phone and wait it out? Like, did you just decide I'm going home?
Yeah, see, this 5-star review admits to also liking the Flash movie, so...
So this guy likes bad movies.
Yeah. Let's see. The movie was amazing. I went with my friend, and we both greatly enjoyed the movie. No spoilers. This movie was gripping and held my attention for the whole 2 hours. I have a short attention span, so for me, this is pretty impressive. There was a perfect storyline. Everything worked perfectly. I would not recommend this movie for children under the age of 10 as it might scare them. But otherwise, I recommend this movie for everyone.
That is obviously a troll review. Because also there's nothing in this review. Nobody dies. Well, okay, a Pepsi sign falls. Oh, wait, spoilers. But like, no violence is really in this movie. It's not scary.
Yeah, I mean, some people seem to enjoy it.
Unless you don't like spiders.
I mean, at 55, obviously some people did. But yeah, general consensus is it was boring. Not really a lot of complaints about woke or anything like that. Just bad.
Just bad. Yeah, no, it's not. I haven't heard anybody saying the movie was offensive. It was just poorly acted, poorly executed. They lied about what's in the movie. I'll say this because this isn't a spoiler. This is something to know. None of the Spider Women get their powers in a movie. It's just Madam Web with her precognition. That's it. No. There is the spider suit you saw. That does not happen. And it's just a vision that was had. So, no, you don't get a squad of Spider Women in this movie. It is not a superhero movie. You do not get them fighting him. They don't. They do not fight him at the finale. He gets tricked into a Wile E. Coyote death. That's it. And very poorly executed at that. It might as well be a Wile E. Coyote death. You know, might as well help a little sign like, oh no, I should have watched the Pepsi sign. Like, that's how bad the ending is. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just bad.
Yeah.
And apparently somebody else is paying attention. Segue. Somebody else noticed it was bad.
I mean, you kept interrupting my segue.
If you want to fucking segue,
I don't want to
I'll
segue
interrupt
anymore. So speaking of spider
Women.
universe and women, Amazon apparently fired the writer's room for the Silk Spider Society. I mean,
Mike apparently watched it. Just so you know, we do have somebody in the chat who watched it, and he said he watched some clips, and he said the ADR was really bad. Yeah. I heard that too. Like I said, dude, it's bad in every way, and bad ADR really ruins a movie.
Yeah. Why do I transition to stuff if you completely break it?
Well, if you watched the chat, you would have said it.
I already watched it. I saw where he said he watched some clips, which I didn't think was
bad ADR. Bad ADR.
Yeah, but I mean, it was horrible anyway. We had already talked about.
Yeah. Well, apparently, so was like Silk's writing very horrible.
Yeah, apparently.
So horrible they fired the entire writers' room staff.
Anyway,
I got a carrot stuck up my back like freaking.
Oh yeah.
I got him on my back. You owe me 65.
You know what? Go. I'm done. Go.
So one of the most interesting things that occurred is that Amazon was planning a actual series for Silk. If you don't know, Silk is one of the Spider-Woman characters, rather popular from what I understand, who, as usual, has spider powers. She was actually bit by the same spider as Peter Parker. And also she is a minority. She's like Asian. So they were planning this series. Well, apparently after what happened to Madam Web, they quite literally fired the entire writing room. The only person left is the showrunner that we looked up that is still being kept on, which, as you can imagine, is very dramatic.
Well, the showrunner also has a contract for a certain number of shows, so it may have been an issue of they couldn't get rid of the showrunner.
They need to stop giving those contracts out because they're still regretting Kathleen Kennedy's contract.
Yeah. This is Angela Kang, who has a multi-year overall deal with Amazon.
You're right, so they can't. I mean, because otherwise they have to pay her and she ain't even doing anything. But yeah, and this is what got me, is that this wasn't a case of they told them to rewrite it. This wasn't a case of they fired some writers. They cleaned house. How bad was the frigging script for... Because here's the thing. They could have just told them to rewrite it. They must have put something in front of them that was so... It was just basically a reskin of Madam Web that they just fired everybody. And by the way, that means they're going to have to... I don't even know if they started shooting, but that means they're starting over. If you got a new writing team, you're starting over from scratch. You are always going to be starting from scratch when you bring in an entirely new writing team.
So is this an actual live action, or is this supposed to be animation?
Was it an animation?
I thought it was Amazon.
No. Well, let me see. The series was the first of several live-action Marvel Sony co-productions.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Sony co-production, Marvel Sony co-production, where it was greenlit from Amazon.
I mean, I would have rather have seen Silk as a animation. I love Spider-Verse animations, man. Like I could.
Budget's the biggest issue too. It's not easy to do the special effects, live action.
I would love to see Spider-Man Noir, but I think it would be best as animation, not as live action. I would love to.
But you could though. That doesn't have as crazy special effects. That Spider-Man doesn't have superpowers really. No, he uses devices. I don't even think he has like wall crawling.
I mean, obviously, if you do it, you have to do it in black and white. You would do sort of like
more money.
Do like a Sin City Spider Noir.
Dude, Nicolas Cage, it would be in black and white. He wouldn't even show up if it wasn't in black and white.
But like I said, I like the animations. But yeah, I like the Spider-Verse though. So
but I mean, Amazon is crazy. Rings of Power. They'll throw billions of dollars at a dumb idea. But I don't think they were doing that for this, so the special effects were probably going to be bad.
But they said one source close to the series claims that Silk was being refocused with a more male skewing audience in mind, which I don't necessarily think is the right direction either.
Yeah, I think they should not make it.
I don't know if they should not make it. I just don't think. I think you should make an interesting story.
Do you know how far down the list of Spider-Women characters Silk is? I literally had to look her up, and then I still had to go back and look at comic books to know who the hell this is. She's so far down the tier of Spider Women on my scale. I don't know. Maybe she's secretly super popular. But, dude, Spider-Gwen. Heck, the non-powered Spider. Spider Woman, Spider Girl.
I recall seeing Silk on the
I said on my scale. At my scale, like I literally was like, who? We've never seen her in she's. You know what? You haven't seen her in? I didn't see her in the cartoons most of the time. Maybe I missed one. Haven't seen her in any of the new stuff. So a new cartoon. So I mean, she was not appearing very frequently in the media I was consuming, is what we'll say, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well, no, like do a tier list of Spider Women. Do a tier list of Spider Women characters or Spider female. Well, I don't know how you would do it, but you're smart. You'll figure it out. 10 best Spider Women variants. Let's see. Maybe Silk will be up there. Heck, man, if Charlotte Witter that's number 10. Start from the top and go down.
Well, no, you start from the bottom when you do these,
all right.
man.
Maddie Franklin, Jessica Drew. Okay, that's pretty new, I believe. Sylvan Drew, Ashley Barton. I do know Ashley Barton. I don't know all these Drews. Jessica Drew, May Parker. I think that's his daughter.
It's Aunt May.
Oh. No, Mayday is the daughter of Peter and Mary Jane.
Okay.
Yeah, his daughter.
Okay, it is.
I've seen his daughters, huh? Julia Carpenter. I do remember seeing the black suit Spider Woman several times.
Yeah.
Gwen Stacy. All right, maybe number 1 is Silk. Nope. I don't even see Silk. Well, what's Silk's real name? Maybe she was one of these. Do Alt F, Control F and Silk. See if she's one of them. We might have saw her, but look at that, though. We didn't even recognize her. If she was on his list, we didn't even recognize her.
No,
did not even come up?
No, she's not in the list. But that's one list. Let's see if there's
I don't even know. That's the most powerful characters. It ain't hard to make somebody most powerful.
Let's see. 10 best alternative versions of the Marvel Comics heroine.
Yeah, like see, Flynn's my big comic book specialist, and he said in the comic book stores maybe. Yeah, I don't think she really has ever made it to any other media.
Well, no, I just, and it was on the comic stores. I remember seeing Silk pretty often on.
Julia Carpenter, yeah. Spider-Gwen. Yeah, dude, Silk's not even show.
Okay.
What's her real name, though? Define her name just to make sure. I know we didn't, but I'm trying to be nice. All right, what's her name? So, because did we miss her? Like, maybe they were not going by that. Or do they not consider her a Spider?
Cindy Moon?
Yeah, no, and her alternative and noble alias is Spider-Woman and Spider-Girl, so they weren't leaving her off. So, yeah, they picked a Spider-Woman character that I will now with confidence say, know who the hell that is. And apparently, most people didn't. So, my suggestion is, make Spider-Gwen.
Well, yeah, no, obviously Spider-Gwen is definitely the more...
Probably the most popular female Spider-Woman character right now. I'd even tune in, and I'm not a huge Spider-Gwen fan, but I like her more than most of the people on that list.
I do agree with you, Flynn, on that. Just use the comic book story, 75% done. I don't know why more of these don't utilize the comics more, because there's these epic stories that have already been made.
You want me to hurt both you and Flynn's feelings and anybody else that's a purist? Madam Web, you know how they got their spider powers? You know how she got her spider powers? There's just magic spiders. That's it. There's in the Amazon, there's magic spiders that give you spider powers. That's it. Well, women spider. No. The one guy that got it, but of course he turned evil. So apparently you turn evil if you're a guy and you get bit by the magic spider. But yeah, magic spiders. The whole Spider-Man concept thrown out the window. It's magic spiders. That's what they went with. Magic spiders. She was born in a cave to 3 spider women that had gotten their powers from magic spiders, and that's why she was the chosen one, because magic spiders. Dude, she didn't even have spider powers originally. She was just psychic. She was a mutant.
Yeah, she was
the original Madam Web was a mutant. with psychic abilities. The reason they called her Madam Web was the web of possibilities she could see from her psychic powers. She would look into the future and see the fractured lines and how they connected. Then she would go to a person who she knew this one person would cause all these things to happen, butterfly effect, or a web, and then she would influence them to try to get a better result. That was the web of intrigue. Not magic spiders in a cave when I was a baby. Spiders can't see the future. Spider sense doesn't represent future sight, it represents danger. No, I'm done now. They didn't even try, man. That was dumb.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up right there, guys. Oh wow, that's that. Yeah, this is a rough
maybe
episode.
That's why they fired the staff of Silk. Maybe they were talking about magic freaking spiders. They were like, hey, maybe the same magic spider.
Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check out Dicejunkies.com where you find links to everywhere we are online. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell on YouTube. Thanks for watching.
And as every week, we hope you